Alrighty friends, I am here at Miami University Middletown campus. I'm going to hike the nature trail today, and I wanted to just do some orienteering. They have an orienteering course, permanent course, and I was just going to share my experience because why not. But most maps you can just align the edge of your compass with the edge of the map to get the lines lined up with north and south. And most compasses will have a line inside there, inside the bezel, and you just orient the map with your whole body to get the arrow inside the line or right in the shed. And then your map is oriented north-south. And an example of why that's useful is here I showed up at this parking lot and I didn't know where to start, so this triangle means start. So this triangle means start here. But I'm in this huge parking lot, so I didn't know which corner that was. But so I orient my map with north-south, and then I can tell which way I need to go. So if I'm oriented here, so I know the start would be in the top right corner of where I'm standing. So I'd kind of just look up, go top right corner. It's like, oh, there it is, right? And there you go. Your map's oriented. And you pick a point on the map and kind of just start walking in that rough direction, and then you would roughly end up along that point somewhere, if that makes any sense. Alright, so I just started. It's about 10 a.m. Pretty muddy, but that's to be expected for Ohio. And 51 degrees. And I'm just at point 1. And so the next point on the map, point 2, one would expect. It looks like I can just follow the trail. Alright. This man out here has these beautiful pit bulls. I guess the pit bulls, I don't know. Even though they're out free roaming around, I mean, they don't jump and they don't bite. Pretty well behaved. I love dogs. We don't deserve them. I swear to. We just don't. I don't know. Dogs are great. Man, there's so many trees blown over. I barely got into it, and I've climbed so many trees already. I guess I should have brought those trekking poles. I thought it'd be a nice little stroll on a college campus. I didn't think I'd have to. Man. So far it's been so good. I think if you live in the area, it's been a great hike so far. It's a little muddy, but I mean, you can't really avoid that in most places. It's early May, so everything's really green. I've only seen one person out here, other than students who are not back here. I saw them in the parking lot and stuff. Huh, I wonder where this goes to. Alright, so here's another good place to try find a use of orienting the map. So I came out after point 4 from right here, and I came out upon this parking lot. So I go to my map, and I can see point 4 came out onto this parking lot here. So now I know kind of generally where I am, and so I can use these blue lines to line up my compass with. I can use these blue lines here going up and down the map, going north-south, put the compass on a blue line, then I can rotate the compass with the map until we get lined up north, north, and south. Alright, almost got it. Well, I'm probably next to this big metal pole here, so I'm not helping. Alright, so that is almost. Alright, so now I can figure out where the trail picks back up again with the map oriented north and south. So now that we're lined up north and south, we know we're here, and we know we're here, and we need to go in this direction to get back on the trail. So I can go. So where does this line point to? The point's back this way, so that's how we know which way to go. If we're at this corner of the parking lot, we can figure out which way this line points and just follow that bearing to the next point on the trail. If that makes any sense, I'm trying here. I gotta get like a tripod or something useful. What I was saying earlier was about the concrete. So after I passed this section earlier, and when it was really thick was through here, right? That was really thick. And I said most people must be going on the concrete section. I was talking about this pavement here to go back to point 5. So point 5 must be around here somewhere if I'm crossing this concrete, right? So it must be right around here. Let's see if we can figure it out. Maybe it's missing. I wouldn't be surprised if it went down with all these other trees. So it looks like it is somewhat to the left maybe of the trail. So if I come out of the trail, it looks like there's pavement too. To the left. This one's trickier, I think. it's running this way, right? So right now I'm lining up the lines of this cement on the trail with the cement I'm standing on. You know what I mean? So I'm making this follow the same direction, this line here, of the concrete I'm standing on, so I can kind of guesstimate which direction I need to head to find this point 5. So it must be somewhere on this side, but I don't see it, and I would not be surprised if it was gone. I found it. Look how easy it is to miss. I guess that's it. I don't know what else it would be. Very frustrating. Alright, so I am on the point on the trail that comes off the cement at the point 5 towards point 6. As you can see, it's pretty overgrown. NBD, I think it's only people use it for orienteering and stuff, so whatever. So I guess this trail here is where people sometimes go and they meet against that fence and they turn right. Because here's that fence, and actually right here is point 6, if you can see it, the corner of that fence. So yeah, I said the first 10 must be pretty easy because they're all on trails, but these trails don't get used, so it's hard to tell even where the trail's at. So let's just continue on, I suppose. So like I said, I was just right here, and I'm trying to go this direction, but on this trail right here, I'm not even sure if you can see that, but look at this right here. This is the trail. I'm pretty certain this is the trail because it's right along that fence, which is where the trail is on the map. That's how maps work. But it's pretty overgrown. I'm not even sure you can see anything. I can't even see anything. It's a good adventure, but I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I should have maybe came later in the year when more people would come through, or what. Alright, so I made it out. That was pretty fun, not gonna lie. But yeah, I was not expecting that much foliage, I suppose. Now I gotta figure out what point 7 is. I'm suspecting I have to go in over there, is my suspicion. I'm out here by this highway, and this, I guess, is a high school over there. Oh, there's that parking lot after point 4, right over there. So I guess I know where I am. Which makes sense, I should know where I am. Well, I'm in here looking for point 7. I cannot find it. I just don't see it anywhere. I think I'm in the general area where it would be. But good news is, I was looking for... Oh, yes, I couldn't find point 5. There's a Google document where people are posting. Their experiences and for comments and stuff. And someone said the point 5 is missing. So I guess it wasn't my fault. But yeah, point 7, I just can't find it. I think I'm just gonna get out of here and move on. All this honeysuckle is making it hard. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh man. Good thing I brought pants. Maybe I should have researched orienteering a bit more And I figured I know how to use a map and compass, so it won't be that hard, but it's hard to navigate once you're in the thick of it all. So well, maybe I just missed it, or it was too far down the trail or something. Am I going up there? No, I don't think it's up there. I think it's point 8. Let's move on to point 8. Let's go this way. Alright, so I just came out of the woods over here, and I am now headed towards into the campus to find point 9, which is at the library. Theoretically, this would be an easy part, but my ineptitude is great. I'm at the library here behind me. I'm pretty sure I'm at the correct spot. Because right there's that sidewalk that is on the map, right here. And I just can't find the post, so I'm just keep moving along because I don't want to stand here kind of awkwardly in front of these people. Alright. Let's figure out what point 10 is. I think I found point 10. Can you see it? Bet you can't, because I can barely see it. Right there. Now do you see it? Crazy. This must be much easier in the winter and fall when there's less leaves. Everyone's out here looking at me as I walk around here. I did the first 10. This is a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. And so far it's a lot of fun. I must have passed point 2 without realizing it. I couldn't find number 7. And I didn't see number 5, but people in the comments said the post had been missing for a long time. Oh, I didn't see number 9 by the library. I circled the whole library and just didn't see it. And I just felt uncomfortable being down there because it was staring at me, so I moved on. But yeah, so far it's a lot harder than... I don't know how people race these things because there's a lot of foliage. You have to... Some places you just cannot run. And I'm not that I'm running today, I'm just walking, but I cannot imagine people running these things. And all the foliage growing around the posts for the markers has made it very difficult to see them, especially at the like old wood growing around them. Yeah, that's just difficult. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break, get some water, and then do the next 10, which should be more difficult. Which we'll see how that goes. If I want to continue on or stop. It depends how fed up I get because I'm not so sure if I want to do more difficult right now. Alright, for this next one, I'm going to try to take a bearing, and then I don't know what you call it, but you take a point, you keep that bearing until you get to the next point. So I've never actually used a one-sided compass before today. And someone's looking at me. Whatever. Before today, but I think it should be this kind of the same principle. You always use a base with the compass. So I'm here at this point, that little black dot inside this triangle. And I'm trying to get to point 11. So what you do is you take your compass, you set it with north as you usually would, which so this. Once again, you would want to, in an ideal world, you would want to set the declination, but I'm not going very far, so it shouldn't make much of a difference. The declination is the difference between true north and magnetic north. Anyway, so now we're oriented with north-south on the map. You would take one corner of your compass and make a line that would shoot towards your point where you want to start to the next point. So I'm going to put my compass edge line up here to point 11. Now you would want to make sure your map doesn't rotate when you do this, or else you won't have a very good bearing. So I'm going to take my compass, put the one edge on the point where I'm starting, and the other in the same edge, point where I'm finishing. hopefully it's level enough where this bezel can, where the needle still spins. And I'm gonna take my shed, put it on my red, so the red is in the shed, and then just like that. And I can take my compass, make sure the red's still in the shed, and then use my sighting arrow or direction of travel arrow to pick a point off in the distance, and then travel that point and repeat the process until I come across point 11. One more thing I can do is actually see the scale here to see how far away that would be, but it doesn't say what it is. I'm guessing that's meters. So that's 250. So about 100 meters is about there on my compass. Okay, so S to 11. Yeah, it's a little about, it's right at 100 meters, so that should be easy to remember. So if my stride is, let's say if my stride is 3 feet, then I can count my strides. So I think about 100 meters and I can stop and look around. I don't know if I can get this camera to see what I'm doing here. I need both my hands. There we go. So I need a bearing of about 120 degrees. Okay. Now take my sighting mirror up. Make sure I'm still on 120 degrees here. And then I can see if I can figure out, pick an object off in the distance. That is 120 degrees. Alright, I'm going to pick this tree and then repeat the process until I think I'm there. So I'm suspecting I'm getting close. There's a ravine here, or a gully. Oh, yep, sure enough, there it is. Right there. So maybe I'll show you what I just did in a second. So, point 11. Another thing I could have done was, see this gully? I could have followed this gully on the map until I found it. That's probably what they expect people to do, but I kind of just wanted to use a compass. So, point 11 is in this kind of gully here. So I could have followed these, what do you call those? Contour lines into point 11 if I really wanted to. Here, yeah, and these markings here mean gully, these dotted lines, as in the key. So, whatever. So now next point is point 12. So that is, I can get back on the trail here and probably just figure it out from there. So I can keep going past this point to get back on the trail. Right there, is that a fence? Yeah, that's a trail. So I'm at point 1 here, and what I think I'm going to do is come down this trail and just not turn here and hit this fence and follow the fence to point 12. I think people call that a handrail. It's when you find an object or a road or something where you can just follow till you get to your point. So far, yeah, this is going to be a lot more difficult for the rest of these, I think. I mean, I couldn't even find 7 earlier. This is going to be a lot more difficult. Alright, so I'm coming down this path from 1, and I already see that fence right there. And it looks like there's some people who've already kind of done the same thing I'm thinking right here. It's already kind of a pathway. hit the fence and just go that way. Oh yeah, people have definitely done the same thing before. Oh, good knit. Let's look at the map and see how far down. It should be pretty close. I mean, it's right on the fence, so I shouldn't miss it. Well, I guess I shouldn't have put the camera away because it's literally right here. Next point, point 12. Found point 2 I passed earlier. It just doesn't have the plate. That's why I passed it earlier. Alright, so what I just did was I got past point 2, I left the trail and went to this parking lot here and got back on the trail there. And I just took a hard right until I found this gully here, marked by that dotted line. And I see the fence right there. You can't really see it, but it's a barbed wire fence right there. And here's this gully I'm thinking about. And look up, and there she is. Point 13 right there. Man, you can't see nothing through here. Yeah, I'll show you right here. Oh, brave. Gosh, just a little helpful friendly. So, what I did was, I came out after point 12, hiked this trail to here, into this parking lot, back into the trail here. Then I decided I was gonna just hard right until I came into this gully right here, which is marked with this dotted line. And I saw the fence. I knew it was at the gully. Turn left. There it was. So next point is point 14. I'm slipping around right now. 13. Where's 14? 14 is way over here. Now I gotta figure out what I want to do. Do I want to just cut straight across? That'd be pretty slow walking, I'm sure. Or do I want to get on the trail again? I'm thinking I might take this trail through here, get back to 14, because this looks like it'd be pretty difficult to traverse this vegetation. I might as well go across. No, I don't want to do that. Do I want to do that? I mean, that's yeah, I'm gonna just cut across. Yep, I'm gonna cut across this way. I found it. I'm curious if this is the Scout Loft, if this is like an Eagle Scout project or something. But man, this is absolutely insane that people come out here and run these things. Alright, 6 more to go. What I did was I followed the trail because I knew it. Well, I cut across until I hit the trail. I followed the trail until I hit the water because I knew it crossed the water because I was here before earlier today. And then I followed the water until I hit, the point 14. Now I gotta figure out what the next point is because I actually don't know, so I probably should figure that out before I start walking around. 14, 15. Looks like I can just, oh yeah. What I'm gonna probably do is, let's think about this. Maybe hit this trail here, this road, and then follow it to here, and then maybe cut across. Or yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to traverse all this. Yeah, maybe I can hit this trail and go follow the fence, but I don't really want to do that. I'm gonna go back to point 5 and then cut across. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna get on this road here and then Yep, 0.5 and then cut across. Let's see, how do I get on the road though? Well, I could orient my map, or I could get back on the trail here and do that, or I could just cut across. I'm pretty close. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut across to the road. I'm back at 0.5, or at least where I think 5 would be if there was a post here. And I'm gonna try to hike through this to get to 0.15. And I'll show you what the issue is here. As you can see, there's a lot of incline, and I'm just not looking forward to that. That's basically all I had to say. I lied about what I said I was gonna do. So there's a trail. I did start doing what I said I was going to do, but right here, I was starting. I came in this small dotted line, the trail. I didn't realize that, but I followed it, and it stepped me back out on this road. So I guess I'm right here, and I'm assuming that that is where I need to go. Hopefully, this is correct. I've been looking around for number 15 for a hot second now. I just cannot find, even though I know I'm in the right place. It's getting kind of late. I'm starving, so I'm just gonna keep moving on. Let's just chalk it up to another one I just can't find. It's alright, I don't really know what I'm doing anyways. This one was a little harder to find. Well, one, because this clearing just doesn't exist. I was walking around looking for this clearing. And also, there was tons of trails that just loop around through here that are not on the map, so that was kind of confusing. But I ended up backtracking. And so I saw this fence. And I followed this fence until I saw the corner. And then I knew I just needed to just straight shot it until I saw the cliff, and then I followed the cliff until I found 0.16, but there seriously is no clearing. Go back the way I came until I get to here, follow this road. I think this is a trail here, and then I should be good to go. Thing is, the fences and the trails look very similar. Maybe I need glasses. Yeah, that must be a trail. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm in the woods looking for 17, and I just cannot find it. I don't know what to tell you. There's I knew it was going to be a hard one because there's nothing on the map that would help me kind of find it, other than the elevation lines, the contour lines. So I came off this trail and I just kind of started walking with a bearing, and I just couldn't find it. So I'm in here somewhere. I don't want to go down too far because I know it's not really down that far because not a lot of lines here. I don't want to just keep walking down the hill. So I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll just call it quits and move on. I don't know. Maybe I should just go back. I'm so close though. Whatever, I'm gonna keep walking this way. Hopefully I come across something, but it's really difficult with all this foliage, and the posts are just wood. It doesn't help. And it's hard to navigate with all these foliage. But that's okay. All this honeysuckle too is crazy. I'm by the road looking for number 18, and I'm starting to think that I should probably just call it quits because I just don't think I have the skill level to really bushwhack through all this, and I'm starting to think some of them may not even be here. And with this time of the year it is, all this honeysuckle overgrown and all the foliage and all the leaves, I can't see anything, so it's really hard to even take a bearing and go for it because I just cannot travel more than 2 feet at a time without having to stop and move around. So I just don't know what to do. I'm gonna go back out towards the road and maybe reassess. I gave number 7 another go. I was sure I was in the right spot, like 110%, and I just cannot find the freaking point. So maybe they got knocked over by a tree or something and no one comes out here to check. Well, I'm just not having a skill level to be able to do this successfully. Either way, it's been a long day. I'm kind of tired out. Although I've had a blast, it's been a lot of fun. But these last few, I cannot find. So I'm reckoning if I can't find 17, 18, number 7, I'll probably not be able to find 19 or 20. So I'm just gonna head back towards my car and maybe stop by at 20 on the way or whatever. I'm gonna call it quits, I think, because I'm just sick of almost dying out here. I know I said I was done looking for these things, but number 19 was in such a much easier spot than the previous two. It's right in front of me here. There it is. I don't think anyone's been back here in eons. Because on the map it says there's foot trails, but there's really not. Number 19, I'll show you on the map here. The reason why I came to number 19 because it comes right off this parking lot and this access trail for there's like a electrical line thing here, electrical something. People working there right now, they can probably hear me. And so I just came around and I just shot straight out looking for this river. I mean, that black thing means pit. So once I came down here, I just knew I needed to go straight down the hill. And then I found it at the bottom of this hill, this pit with this water here. That's kind of why I came down this one, because I knew it would be a lot easier than the last two. Because 17, look, there is, sorry, I'm dealing with all these brush. There was nothing really identifying where it is. Same with 18, except, yeah, there's just nothing there. This is where I came, and that's the cell tower that's on the map. Those guys can probably hear me, they're out there. All right, I'm gonna push through this again. Number 20 was also another easy one, very delightful. It was so much, these kind of ones are fun. You just take a bearing and you just start going and you count your paces off and then everything works out the way you want it to. I mean, it's a lot more fun that way. I knew this one would be easier because it's labeled as open forest and it was pretty close to the start, and the start was easy to get to. So I got to the start, on my map, took a bearing, and started walking for a sight off, and started counting paces. And then before I knew it, I was there. And this open forest area is a lot easier to traverse than just the dense forest that 17, 18 are in, 7. Yep, that was fun. All right, folks. I guess I'm done. I didn't do all 20, but I think I made a pretty good attempt to do all 20. It was a lot of fun. I highly recommend. Thanks to OCIN, Orienteering Cincinnati, for the map and all the online info. I'll probably put the Facebook link in the description or something. I would have showed you better. Beginning, I showed you kind of a crappy example of how to shoot a bearing, but I would have showed you afterwards. But literally, a campus security car pulled up right behind my car, which was parked in the middle, like no one was parking in that parking lot, and I didn't have I'm not sure I was supposed to get like a visitor pass, so I just yeeted myself out of there. So sorry, maybe I'll show you when I get home how to shoot a bearing, or yeah, I'm in the high school parking lot right now. Alright, anywho, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, or leave a dislike if you didn't like it, and tell me why, and I'll do better next time. Alrighty then, ciao. Well, I'm back at my house, and I just wanted to show you. This won't be as good as I'm not present at the location of the map, but you should be so we get the idea of what I'm trying to communicate, I guess. I just wanted to show you the same principles of orienteering and maybe even be clearer what I mean with the base plate compass, which is what I generally recommend for most people. So these are called, I think these are called orientation lines. So you can put your compass, edge of the compass, or there's orientation lines on most base plate compasses too, but you can just put the edge of the compass on one of the lines, or even just on the edge of the map for most maps. And then you can line up. So here, inside the bezel, there's a white line, so you can line up the 0 degrees or 360 degrees up with that white line. So we can get it just right. There you go. And you can line the edge up with the map, and then you can spin the whole map until that red is in the shed. And then boom, red is in the shed. This map is oriented with magnetic north-south. Now, a good map would have declination, where the difference, it tells you the difference in degrees between true north and magnetic north. And then if you're going like a really far distance, that's important because you could end up way off. And then you would adjust the degrees for that as well by adding or subtracting the degrees to the bezel, and then putting the red back in the shed, and then you would be oriented true north. But for most instances, you're just going a few hundred meters or less than 100 meters. You should be a-okay with just setting for magnetic north. Let's say we're at point 20 and we're at point 10. So what you got to do is take a straight edge of your compass, and take the other straight edge and point it to where you want to go. Let's say I'm at point 20, I want to go to point 10. And then, hold on, I'm gonna move this compass into the frame. And then that would be your direction of travel. This is the direction of travel arrow. I mean, this is the direction you want to go. So what you can do is, now that your map is oriented, it's safe to move, as long as you're not moving the map at all. It's safe to move this, people call this the shed, into the red, or the red in the shed. And then now your compass is set to your direction of travel, and now you can just go in this direction as long as red is in the shed. Take your body and point it in this direction and go in that. And you can travel this arrow, this line the arrow makes, this imaginary line, and then you should theoretically go straight towards the point, that your destination, right? So let's see here. Let's say obviously I'm at my house and not at the map. And let's say I'm theoretically at point 10. I can stand here and rotate my whole body with the compass until the red needle goes into the red in the shed. And then boom, I am where I need to orient it correctly. Direction travel is pointed where I need to go. I would take a look at the arrow and look up until I can see something that is in this imaginary line. Pick it out on the horizon, and I would travel towards it. So let's say, I guess the corner of the barn there would be pretty good. Then I'll look at the corner of the barn, walk towards it, and repeat the process. As long as you don't turn the bezel, your direction of travel should be good. And to set the red back in the shed and continue on. What is up with this needle? It's all over the place. Theoretically, if you're in an open prairie, let's say, you could just look down and walk. As long as you keep that red needle there in the shed, you can just walk, and theoretically you would walk towards your destination, right? And what I was doing earlier today was I was using there's a scale on the edge of your compass here, right? And most maps will also have a scale on it, and I think usually they're on meters. And so you can use the scale on your compass. This one has in inches and in millimeters to figure out, you know, roughly how far away do I need to go till I get to my destination, right? And what you can do is, if let's say your stride is roughly 3 feet, you can count off 3 feet. You know, you count your strides, and then each stride is 3 feet, so you can divide how many meters by 3, and that's roughly how many strides or paces it would take for you to get to your destination, so you know roughly where you are. Alright, well, I think I'm about done here. Hopefully this helped you. If not, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time.